As back-to-school season approaches, now's the perfect time to schedule a well child visit to ensure your child is physically and emotionally ready for the upcoming school year and that your child's holistic development is progressing exactly as it should. Joining us today to talk about it is Dr. Rhonda Randall, Chief Medical Officer for UnitedHealthcare, to talk more about the importance of well child visits. And thanks for joining us, Dr. Randall. I guess the first question is, what is a well child visit?
Well, thank you for having me, and that's a great question. You might have also heard of a well visit as getting your annual physical or history and physical, for example. But in children, they require these physicals at a certain frequency depending on their age. As a parent, you probably remember very often when they were infants, how frequently you were going to the doctor to get those well visits and vaccines to make sure they were on track with their growth and their milestones. That doesn't stop as we reach adolescence, and back to school season is a great time to talk about this.
So why is the back-to-school season the right time to schedule a well child visit?
Yeah, first of all, your primary care physician, family doctor, pediatrician, their schedule is going to fill up pretty quickly. So you want to get on their schedule. It's really important to have this established ongoing relationship throughout the course of your child's development and your family's health and well-being with a physician that knows you well. So you want to get in on their schedule while you can before it starts to fill up. And at this visit, you can get a lot accomplished.
What's the most important thing to keep in mind during one of these visits? I mean, how can parents make sure they get the most out of their appointment time?
Yeah, you want them to be comprehensive visits and you want to come prepared. So as an example, if your child is going to play a sport this school year, print out those forms, fill out your portion of the forms, take them with you so that you're not trying to get a second appointment later to have those forms filled out or disrupt your physician's schedule. So get that all done at once. The second is making sure that your child gets screened for their emotional well-being during that visit. It's very much become the standard of care now for pediatricians and family physicians to ask a couple basic questions to children and adolescents around their mental well-being. That's an important part of these visits. And then other things that you might not think of is referrals for things like eye and dental exams, those more comprehensive. Of course, you'll get the screening at your doctor's office, but anything that causes concern that you may need a more comprehensive eye exam, and certainly pediatric dentistry or family dentistry referrals are important for your overall health and well-being in addition.
So is it important to start the discussion around mental health this early on?
Yeah, I'm glad you went a little deeper into that question. We do see that as many as 60% of children who have depression aren't getting the appropriate care and treatment that they need for it. So it starts really with that screening. The other thing I'll say is this: when you have that longitudinal relationship with a pediatrician or a family doc, and then later in the school year, you notice there's something that gives you concern, academic performance is trailing off, right? There's a reason that you want to get into care. They're very likely to be able to get you in often as quickly as the next day, right, to do that assessment and make referrals for you. Another thing that's really grown in the last couple of years is telebehavioral health. So recognizing that if you have a need, whether it comes up in this screening or later on throughout the course of this school year, the access to those telehealth services can be nearly immediate. If it's not your child, and I hope it's not your child, but it's likely to be one of their friends, right, that has a mental health issue during the course of their school years. And having that conversation with your child about how to manage stress, right? It's also not all very serious. Sometimes it's low acuity things, right? So having conversations about how to manage stress, but also having a conversation, if one of your friends comes to you with a concern, here's the best way to handle it. Our research and other research has shown that kids are most likely to talk to their peers when they have a mental health concern rather than their own parents or another trusted adult.
And Dr. Randall, what can parents do after the visit to support their child's mental health?
I think, again, having those conversations, modeling good behaviors, letting them see that, stress is a part of life, how you handle it. And again, that good coaching of when your friend comes to you, if a friend comes to you, when is it appropriate for you to keep your confidence, and when do you need to feel comfortable to bring an adult into that conversation?
And where can people go to learn more information?
Yeah, there's a lot of this on our newsroom. That's at uhc.com.
Well, thanks so much for sharing this information with us, Dr. Randall.
Thank you for having us. Be well.